You have an older sister, Amy.
Yes.
So why did she choose not to participate in the show?
She deemed doing a show on MTV as like low-hanging fruit.
We're just really different.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand me. I don't understand her.
Amy wasn't a part of it, and so it made me feel terrible.
Wanted to be relatively private and obscure.
Yeah.
We don't talk.
We don't talk.
Okay, great.
She doesn't like it, no.
I'm not some weirdo, depressed daughter that's afraid of the world that locks herself in her room all day. We definitely had our rough times.
You know, I'm not going to be seen like riding coattails.
Were you ever embarrassed by your family?
Of course.
A name you almost never hear when people talk about the Osborne family has been the quiet shadow in one of rock's most famous households. While her parents, Ozzy and Sharon, and siblings, Jack and Kelly, turned their lives into a spectacle for millions on MTV, Amy decided to step completely away from the spotlight. She wasn't shy, she wasn't afraid, she was intentional. From the very beginning, she called the reality show low-hanging fruit, saying it wasn't the kind of fame she wanted. While the rest of her family embraced life in front of the camera, Amy made the choice to protect her privacy at all costs, and that choice came with consequences. For Amy, refusing to join the show created an emotional gap that still felt decades later. Jack and Kelly grew up on camera together, bonding through the chaos, while Amy quietly kept her distance. It wasn't just skipping a TV show, it was stepping out of the family narrative entirely. As a teenager, the tension got so bad that Amy left home at just 16. Imagine that, walking away from your entire family's daily life because the environment was so uncomfortable. For most kids, moving out means going to college. For Amy, it meant escaping cameras, producers, and the kind of chaos that turns a home into a stage set. You might expect that tragedy would bring people together, but even after Ozzy Osbourne's death, the distance between Amy and the rest of the family hasn't closed. Ozzy had 3 children, Jack, Kelly, and Amy. But for many people, Amy is practically a stranger. Jack has been open about it. We're not close at all, and it's no secret. He's described their relationship as strained ever since the MTV series began in 2002. For Jack, Kelly, and their parents, the show was a wild ride from 2002 to 2005, opening doors and launching careers. For Amy, it was an opportunity she never wanted. She wasn't impressed by the fame or the opportunities that came with it. In her eyes, the show was cheap, and it risked defining her in a way she didn't want. Amy wanted to carve her path in music, on her own terms, without leaning on her last name. That decision might have slowed her career, but it also gave her a sense of control over her image that her siblings never had. Amy did at one point consider joining the show once it was a hit, but by then, she felt it was too late. To join midstream, she believed, would make her look like she was cashing in on the family's success. And so, she stayed out of it, digging her heels in, holding to her decision, even as the gap between her and her siblings widened.
You have an older sister, Amy.
Yes.
So why did she choose not to participate in the show?
So back then, she really wanted to be a musician. And the kind of musician she wanted to be was like a Fiona Apple, like Mazzy Star, like this kind of, you know, obscure, mysterious, you know, moody. And she deemed doing a show on MTV as like low-hanging fruit. And she was like, I'm not gonna write, you know, I'm not gonna be seen like riding coattails kind of thing. Like that's how she perceived it. And then once the show was hugely successful, I think she was kind of like, well, I can't now come on because I don't want to be seen even more as jumping on the bandwagon.
Right.
And so she just kind of like dug her heels in and, you know, and wanted to be relatively private and obscure.
Jack admits that he's never really had a conversation with her. We're not close at all. We don't have a great relationship.
Jack has admitted they've never really had a proper, open conversation as adults. It's not that they fight, it's that they live in completely separate worlds. Kelly, in a 2021 interview, echoed the same thought. We're just really different. She doesn't understand me. I don't understand her. In 2015, Amy finally opened up a little while promoting music under the name ARO. She admitted there was no real closeness between her and her siblings. Assistant for Sharon, the rift has been bittersweet. She's admitted she regrets letting Amy move out so young, but also says she understands why Amy didn't want her teenage years filmed for millions to see. The reality show changed everything about their home life. The house became a set, their privacy disappeared, and the constant presence of cameras created a pressure cooker environment.
Her daughter Amy.
That's what I would, yeah.
Yeah, never wanted, no interest, ever had any, was it ever a discussion?
Yes, it was in the beginning.
Was that hard? Was that?
Very, very hard on me because we were traveling all over the world. We were doing a million things and Amy wasn't a part of it. And so it made me feel terrible because I didn't have my whole family. And she just didn't want the attention. She was, 18. It's a tough age for a girl. She didn't want it.
And still kind of doesn't, right?
She doesn't like it, no. She loves writing, she loves singing, but she doesn't want to be a pop star.
Right.
She wants to be a professional singer and writer. That's it. She doesn't want to be, she's not looking for fame and power. She's happy doing what she does.
She's an artist.
Yeah.
Even now, I know you're doing a podcast and stuff with your family, and I would think, I didn't want to be in front of the camera at all. I was a teacher. But this to me feels different, like just hanging out with my dad. It's not really a job, or I don't see it as a job or working. So even now with the podcast, she doesn't want to be a part.
No.
Sharon remembers those early years vividly. She says Amy wanted none of the attention. She loved writing and singing, but had no interest in chasing fame or playing the celebrity game. Even now, with the family's new podcast, Amy stays away completely. Back in the early days of the show, there were rare moments when Amy accidentally appeared in the background of a shot. Producers would blur her face to keep her out of the footage. That's how committed she was to staying invisible in the Osborne media circus, a decision she's maintained for over 2 decades. Amy has pushed back on the stereotype that she's some reclusive, antisocial figure. "I'm not some weirdo, depressed daughter hiding in my room," she once said. "I just didn't choose to do the show." When the family decided to go ahead with filming, Amy wasn't part of that conversation. It was her parents' decision, and she had no real power to stop it. She's talked about how she disliked the nepotism of the entertainment industry, especially the idea of her personal relationships becoming storylines for viewers to consume.
What do you think of your father?
I think that he is incredibly unique. I think he's talented. I think he's misunderstood.
How?
My dad just wants everyone to be happy and, to be doing what they love. And I think sometimes he forgets that that's what he should want for himself as well. And also because of the damage that obviously has affected him.
From drugs?
From drugs and alcohol and stress, and the way he was raised has definitely taken its toll on him.
Tell me about Mom's illness and how it's affected you.
It's been strange because I was the first person that actually told her, "Something is wrong with you, you're sick, go to a doctor." And we fought for 2 years for her to actually go and get a checkup and find out what the problem was. And I think when she found out, she said to me, "Thank you." And that, to me, was worth every argument we had. But I think that she forgot for a little while just what was important to her. And she was too busy pleasing the press and doing this and doing that. She wasn't focusing on herself.
YO. In a rare sit-down with Barbara Walters, Amy gave one of her most revealing interviews. She called her father talented but misunderstood, acknowledging the toll his addictions and early life had taken on him. She also revealed that she was the first to notice her mother's illness and urged her to get it checked out, a move that eventually led to a diagnosis. Amy's words made it clear, privacy wasn't just about control, it was about survival. After a lifetime of having her family's personal struggles broadcast to the world, she wanted a corner of her life to be entirely her own.
In that interview, Amy said, "My private life is very important to me, so it didn't feel right because my whole life, everything's been so exposed. So I feel as of though now I'm at an age and a time in my life where I can make that choice."
In that same Barbara Walters interview, Amy doubled down on her belief that privacy is her lifeline. She explained that by staying away from the show, she avoided being typecast, saying she wanted to be seen for her music, not as that girl from the Osbornes. Her choice wasn't without tension. Amy admitted that her mom was hurt when she refused to participate, and there were months where the two barely spoke. Still, she never saw it as a rejection of her family, only a rejection of the spotlight. When asked if she regretted her decision, Amy didn't hesitate. No, she values her private life too much. Even as Kelly secured a music contract and made a name for herself, Amy stayed patient, willing to take the long road if it meant keeping control over her own image.
Amy, you've never done an interview before, and I know you want to keep your privacy. On the other hand, what do you most want people to know about you?
That I'm not some weirdo, depressed daughter that's afraid of the world that locks herself in her room all day. I just didn't choose to do the show. That's the only thing that I think that's different about me and my family.
Why would you not want to participate with the rest of the family?
It's kind of like, okay, I want to be a singer, and I felt if I would have stayed with the Osbournes and done the whole Osborne thing, I felt as if maybe I would have been typecasted right away before I had a chance to experience other things.
Was Mom mad when you decided not to participate?
She was hurt, and we definitely had our rough times for a couple of months with our disagreements, but it really was nothing to do with me not loving them and not, wanting the world to know that I am a part of this family.
Do you have any regrets?
No, I really don't, because I'm more reserved and my private life to me is very important, so it didn't feel right, because my whole life, everything's been so exposed. So I feel as though now I'm at an age and a time in my life where I can make that choice.
You're not going to join the Osbournes on camera this year or next year, anytime that you can see?
No.
You want to sing, and if you were doing this, you probably would have had a contract now, the way your sister Kelly does.
Right.
So it doesn't bother you that she's got one, and...
No, I mean...
Truth, does it?
At first I was kind of shocked. I think for me to be upset would be kind of selfish, because she has a life, she has a talent, and why shouldn't she? Just because I'm taking my time with it.
Your mom says that you're the normal member of the family. You are so different from the rest of the family.
These are the people that created me, so I'm definitely like them in a lot of ways.
So this whole business of the F this and F that, this is just the last couple of years?
My family's lifestyle and attitude have changed so much in the last 2 years, and that's, I think, what made me uncomfortable.
Were you ever embarrassed by your family?
Of course. I mean, do I like that my father publicly announces that he still has a drinking problem? No. Do I like that my brother and sister talk about drinking and smoking weed? No.
That independence came at a cost. While Kelly and Jack used the MTV show as a launchpad for other opportunities, Amy remained largely unknown to the public. Her career in music, under the name ARO, was understated, and despite Sharon's attempts to promote it, it never achieved mainstream traction. Sharon has often spoken publicly about the difference in her daughter's ambitions. She says Amy simply doesn't want to be a celebrity. She wants to create music, write, and live quietly, far from the chaos that defined their home during the filming years. And make no mistake, chaos is exactly what it was. Sharon recalls how the house felt more like a television set than a home. Crews worked around the clock, cameras were always rolling, privacy evaporated. For a teenager like Amy, who valued personal space, it was suffocating.
I understand how she felt. It was chaos. You know, we had about 30 crew, 24 hours a day. Wow. And the house wasn't a home anymore. It was a studio. So I get why she didn't like it, but would I have done it differently? I didn't know what I was doing then, so you know, I wouldn't have done anything differently because I had an unbelievable time doing it, great experiences, and it was just something in my life that I don't regret, and I'm glad I did. And I was just sorry that Amy didn't come on the journey with us.
Right. Yeah. But she's coming on now.
Yeah, she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
She's doing her
thing. What do you think of the album?
It's good. It's good. She's, you know what, with Amy, she doesn't want to be a celeb. Right. She just wants to do her music and do her creative thing and feel good about it. That's it.
But remember, Mrs. O, remember when I was asking you, because I saw some great reviews about her album over here, and I was asking, like, I'm so excited to see her out and doing her thing, and because she comes from where she comes from, she has the freedom to let herself be creative and not be chasing the fame, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Has Ozzy heard it? What does he think about it?
Yeah, he loves it.
He's very proud.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
We're all proud.
When Ozzy passed away, some thought this might be the moment for the family to heal. And in a way, it was. Amy did spend time at the family home during his final days. Reports say she and Kelly were both present, offering support to Sharon. But even in grief, the divide was visible. At the funeral, observers noticed Amy standing off to the side, physically present, but clearly outside the emotional circle that her siblings shared. It was a subtle but telling moment. Years of distance aren't erased overnight, even by tragedy. For Sharon, the loss has been devastating. Photos from the service show her weeping, holding onto friends and family for comfort. Those who know her say she's heartbroken, not just by Ozzy's passing, but by the lingering rift between her children. It's not hard to imagine her wishing things could be different, that Amy, Kelly, and Jack might one day find common ground. But as it stands, the relationships are polite at best and non-existent at worst. And here's the hard truth. Once both parents are gone, there may be little to hold the siblings together. Family bonds often rely on the presence of a central figure, and without Ozzy or Sharon in the middle, those thin connections could disappear entirely. Some observers think jealousy may still linger under the surface, especially around music. Kelly built a career in the same space Amy once dreamed of, and although Amy doesn't speak publicly about it, the parallels are hard to ignore. Others believe Amy has simply made peace with the distance, choosing her independence over forced closeness. So, where does that leave the Osborne family now? In many ways, exactly where they've been for the last 20 years. Connected by blood, separated by choice. And maybe that's the lesson in all this. Not every family story ends in a reunion. Sometimes people choose different lives, and the healthiest thing you can do is let them.